What is the best business to start in 2026? Now, I might be a little bit biased because I know a lot about this industry, but coming as no surprise to any of you, I think a seamless gutter business is the best business to start in 2026. Now, if you're in gutters, you're probably like, oh, screw you, Colin, there's already too much competition, blah, 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 blah. And to that, I say be better, not bitter. Because if you think there's too much competition, that means you need to increase your processes, all right? There is no such thing as too much competition. I'm a firm believer that more competitors equals more opportunities, equals more awareness around that brand and more opportunity, all right? For every good business that's out there, there's 3 bad businesses at least, all right? So if you're a good one, just expect there's gonna be at least 3 bad businesses. If you got you and 3 other guys that are good in town, expect at least 9 other bad ones, all right? That's just the way it goes. And what do bad businesses equal? Well, opportunities for you to be the knight in shining armor, all right? So here we go, all right? If you are looking to start a business in 2026, here's why I think seamless gutters are the best one. One, it's not window washing or pressure washing where it's a really, really low barrier of entry, all right? It's still a relatively low barrier of entry, but it's not basically free or a few $100, all right? So it weeds out a lot of the crackheads. We still get some people like that in the gutter industry, but for the most part, it weeds out a lot of the really, really poor people who are just trying to make $25 an hour so they don't have to go work for somebody else because they're unemployable, all right? So it starts there. 2, the gutter industry is like the freaking Wild West, all right? It has not been settled yet. If you get into roofing, private equity is there. Even gutter cleaning, private equity is there with Ned's Home. You look at a lot of the industries, private equity is already in it. Private equity is not in the gutter game yet, other than the brothers who just do gutters. They sold their franchise to private equity, but it's still a franchise opportunity, so I don't really consider it private equity. Anyways, we're not seeing private equity groups come into the gutter industry yet and rapidly shift it and do all these roll-ups and everything. It's just not there. So it's really unsettled, and most people are still just like, all they do is builder work. All right, so all these like cheap guys, like they're focused on doing builder work, and that's how they justify being cheap. The builders won't pay me anymore. I don't do any builder work unless they're like custom builders. All right, we've got a few custom builders that want things done well, right, and to look really good, right? Like that's it. And they want custom stuff. So we do work for them, but we're not chasing the guys, the DR Hortons and the Pulte Homes that are promising us 250, 300 jobs a year. We're not chasing the roofers who want us to do it for $8 a foot and giving us, $500,000 a year in revenue. We don't do that because that's not our business model. So if you want to come in and just take orders, like you want to be an employee for somebody else, okay, I guess, right? Because that's how I view that type of business. When you are so subcontractor, like you're a sub for other people, ultimately, if their business craps, so does yours. And I don't want to hang my hat on anybody else's business. I want to build my own stuff, all right? So I would say probably 8 out of 10 gutter businesses are in that subcontractor model. So there are very few people who are actually out truly servicing homeowners the right way, all right? 3, piggybacking off of that, because of that, they don't know what customer service is. So they answer their phone, they go, hello? And the customer's like, hey, is this Dan's Gutters? Yeah. Hey, I need a gutter quote. Okay. What's your address? And like, that's literally how the interaction goes, all right? It's like they're an inconvenience to them. And you might be laughing, but there's no way it's like, try it. Call 8 gutter companies in your area. See, in your first test is how many of those 8 actually pick up. I bet no more than 2 or 3, okay? The other 5 will go to voicemail. How many of them will call you back, all right? And then how many answer the way that I just said? I will be shocked if more than 2 out of all of these are even remotely professional. Like, hey, Mr. Smith, I'm so sorry I missed your call. This is Joanne with XYZ Gutters, right? Like, and being a friendly voice, I'm so sorry, I was on the other line and I couldn't get it off fast enough to answer your call. Like, that's customer service, all right? You won't find that It's just the gutter industry is riddled with underperforming. That's it. Now, I love the gutter industry. I'm really good at installing gutters. I'm really good at selling gutters. I love the industry, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna sit here and spew lies and be like, oh, it's the best industry. These people are amazing. They're such good business owners, because they're not. All right, they're not business owners. They're self-employed dudes and girls who just show up and do the thing and everything all day, every day. All right. If they get hurt, their business disappears. We see it every single day. And that leads to my fourth point. Gutter businesses disappear all the time. All right. And it's because they're all chasing to the bottom. If you show up and actually sell value, you can win huge. So let's get into like the nuts and bolts of this thing. What does it take to start up? Well, you can find like a fully outfit gutter trailer for like $14,000 to $20,000. All right. If you got a pickup truck, you're running, you're ready to rock and roll. All right. You've got everything that you need. How do you get your first few jobs? Well, my favorite thing is I grab my phone and I tell all of our Gutter Launch members the exact same thing. I don't care if they've been in business 5 years or they're getting into business or what it is. The very first thing that you need to do to get more leads is call every single person in your phone, reintroduce yourself if you don't know them, or tell them about your business. Hey, I know we've been friends for a long time and I don't post about this nearly enough, but just wasn't sure if you knew that I'm in the gutter industry now. Like I do seamless gutters for a living. I started my own business. It's John's Gutters, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just wondering, you know, we're still a small business and I need help from friends like you. Do you have any friends or family, or maybe even yourself, that could use some gutter or gutter guard or gutter cleaning, anything like that? They will say yes. All right. If you ask the right way, people will be like, oh, actually, my mom was just talking about getting gutters. Like, can I send her this number? Yeah, send her my number, man. Or even better, introduce us in a group text. That way she can just text me her information and I'll schedule a time. Awesome, dude. Thanks so much. I'm glad you called. Yeah. Hey, dude. Like, if I get it, I'm going to send you a gift. So text me your address too. So that I can do that. Oh, rock on. Heck yeah. Hey, I might know a couple other people. Sweet. That's literally how these conversations go. When my Gutter Launch members do it, they're like, holy crap, Colin, I was only able to make 20 calls in like 2 hours because everybody just wanted to keep talking to me and they consistently get like 5 to 10 leads from doing that. It's wild, all right? And you got to call for quality, not for quantity. You're not just trying to rip through your list as fast as you can. You're calling, trying to get a hold of people. So you call them, leave a voicemail, shoot them a text, all right? Say the same thing in text. People love to help out a small business. Now, if you're already like a bigwig douchebag, then this isn't gonna work. If you're flaunting your fancy cars and all your new crap on Facebook, this isn't gonna work because people hate your guts for doing that, all right? Now, if you got the big fancy chains and whatever, like, look at me, I'm smoking a cigar, I'm so cool. Like, people aren't gonna wanna help you because you look like a douchebag, all right? So that's how you get your first jobs. Second, you start getting these jobs. Now, you got to put on your big boy pants or put on your big boy hat and you got to go to the neighbors, all right? And you got to have a business card or a door hanger. You got to go to the neighbors and introduce yourself. Hey, my name's Colin with John's Gutters. Weird name, Colin's Gutters, we'll say. All right, my name's Colin with Colin's Gutters. I just started this business. Secret. Even if your business is 5 years old, you can still do this, all right? I just started this business and I'm always looking to help out more neighbors. I was just helping John next door with his new gutter system and just want to introduce myself. If you or any of your friends or family ever need gutters, I actually have a referral bonus that I send to you. So here's this, and while I'm in the area, I'm doing a few other jobs and I can give some super big discounts. So if you're interested, I can give you a free quote right now. If not, no hard feelings. And people will be like, yeah, absolutely, like a big discount, cool, let's go. That's why people buy things at their grocery store that they don't need, because they see, well, usually it's $12, but I can get it for $6 today. If you can give big discounts, ball game, right? It doesn't matter if it's a real discount, all right? You can say normally this is $6,000, but today, because I'm here and I'm gonna be doing a few of your neighbors' jobs, I can do it for $4,600. Does that sound good to you? Yeah, actually, that's not, like, you get to say $1,400. Holy crap, yeah, $4,600 might be your normal price, all right? But It's semantics, all right? That's the game that you get to play. And so I do that, all right? So as I'm calling my list and I'm getting all these jobs and I'm going and I'm quoting these jobs and I'm selling John's gutters, I'm gonna go to his neighbors and I'm gonna hopefully sell 2 or 3 of them, all right? And that's how you build this business really, really fast. And you're like, well, Colin, how am I gonna have time to actually do the installs and do all the sales and make all these phone calls and then the back end business? You're not, and that's the point, all right? Because you are not a business owner if you are doing all those things. You have you're self-employed and you're doing 17 jobs for the price of 1. Right? That's why so many gutter businesses flop, because they refuse to give up control and they refuse to increase their prices to be able to afford to hire employees to help out. All right. And that's where Gutter Launch comes in. We help you with that. But anyways, that's what I would do. That's how I'd start this business. And you might say, well, Colin, I don't even know how to install a gutter. Cool. You know what? You could nix even buying a gutter truck and a trailer and all that stuff. And like I said earlier, there are companies that all they do is work for people as subcontractors. So you could call up some of the roofers, be like, hey, who do you use for your gutters? I got a couple overflow jobs. I just need to get somebody on. Wondering if you recommend your guy. Oh yeah, we use Juan. He's amazing, blah, 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 blah. He's super cheap and he does great work. Like, this is literally how roofers talk about their gutter guys. So if you do a lot of work for roofers, this is how they're talking about you. He's super cheap, he does great work, he shows up at the drop of a hat, like he's basically like a slave to us. I've literally heard these words, all right? It's like an in-house employee, except for I don't have to pay for workers' comp for him or any taxes or any of that stuff. It's amazing. And they'll give you that info and you'll be able to hire them for $5 or $6 a foot. You go out and you sell it for 3 times that, and guess what? Now you're making a lot of freaking money and you don't have to buy any equipment with your savings account or any of that stuff, all right? So, and you don't have to learn how to install gutters. I still recommend you learn how to install gutters because it makes it easier to sell, makes it easier to inspect quality assurance and all that fun stuff, all right? So I'm not saying by any means go into the game and not ever learn how to install gutters, all right? So there you have it. That's why I'd get into gutters. I think it's super simple. I think it's super easy. My now 10-year-old has hung gutter back when he was 7 and 8 years old. So easy, a 7 or 8-year-old can do it. Now, I wasn't being stupid. I was putting them on a regular A-frame ladder, single story stuff, just to prove a point, because a lot of gutter guys think that they're freaking rocket scientists and stuff. So it's not hard. It's really simple. It can be hard. There are definitely like some really cool custom things that can be difficult, but 99.9% of the gutter jobs out there are aluminum K-style gutters, so which are stupid easy. All right, so there you have it. That's why I would start a seamless gutter business. It's so simple, it's inexpensive, it's so easy. Literal cavemen are doing it still. It's easy to rank organically with SEO because people don't like spending money on marketing in the gutter industry still for some reason. It's just too easy to take over. All right, I can go into any market and just take over. All right, it's that simple. Learn how to sell and you can sell anything. All right, there you have it. That's the business that I would start in 2026.